Welcome back to the Sight Black YouTube channel. I'm your boy Shad, and today we got another reaction video. This time we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I figured, man, I do a lot of music content, and I've been doing every Thursday or whatever, I'll drop a video where it's like something kind of alternative to music, where it's like, I don't know, like a documentary or some content creator or some type of like history or something like that. And I've been really enjoying those videos, even though they don't do that well, but it's like, I still like them for my channel. I like to be able to kind of like do my own thing and just do things how I see fit. So today I want to kind of like do something in that same vein, and we're gonna be doing like current events, like viral topics and things like that, like things that I see in the media, and just first of all, just see it, react to it, give my thoughts or my initial reactions to them. So today I got two videos that were sent to me. This first video I got from the YouTube channel Curtis King, so shout out to him and his content. You guys give him a follow. But I'm gonna react to him basically talking about a viral comment that went viral by a hip-hop, or this kind of the big thing because it's like a hip-hop artist pretty much denouncing hip-hop, basically trying to shed that label from himself. So as somebody who's into hip-hop and who's into that, I don't like to turn a blind eye to it because I really care about the culture of hip-hop, but not just hip-hop. I love black music in general. So I try to use my platform to like make sure black music is held in high regard. So we're gonna get into that, and then later on we're gonna get into another story that's been going viral in Chicago. There's been like this thing where a family was being attacked by a lot of kids. So it's like, man, what's going on with that? And so I kind of wanted to see that, see how the community reacted to that and things of that nature. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into it. First video, Curtis King talking about BigXThaPlug, the rapper BigXThaPlug.
DIYers, there's an artist named BigXThaPlug. You may or may not have heard of him, but he's from Dallas, Texas. He had an interview here recently with New York Times and Popcast where he talks about his journey, his breakout song, The Largest, the biggest, the largest. I'm pretty sure you heard it. It got like a trap beat. He's rapping over the top of it. It was a song that went really, really viral. It got him embraced by artists as big as Beyonce and certain artists like Post Malone. Keep that in your tab for a second. This is an interview that came out 3 months ago, and the reason why we're covering it now is because it actually went super viral all over Twitter.
Yeah, I've been seeing like his people commenting and responding to this like all up and down my timeline. So yeah, I figured like, man, what's going on with this, man? Like, I gotta hear the context behind it because essentially from what I've been hearing is like he kind of denounced hip hop. Like, he got on by doing hip hop music. You see what I'm saying? Like, he got on with a hip hop song and things like that. But it's like once he's charting and once he's getting these chart topping hits, it's like, okay, now I don't want to be a hip hop artist no more. You know what I mean? And I feel like I remember Vince Staples said something about like somebody was talking about him like, do you want to do something beyond hip hop or something like that? Something to that effect. He was like, that's kind of racist. You see what I'm saying? Like, why can't hip hop be the standard? You see what I'm saying? So let's get into it.
Because somebody found this clip and posted it again. With that said, though, he's talking about his experience. He's talking about like smoking a bunch of cigarettes, being around these dudes from Nashville. But then he says something that, boy, oh boy, just listen.
The response I got from the country lane, like all the artists, that was just like, I need it. I want to be on it. And I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. And you saw it.
So he's expressing being embraced by this country audience, showed him new opportunities, showed him new possibilities with collaboration. These are the moments that you're looking for, right? Hold your horses.
As a commercial opportunity or an artistic one, or both?
Artistic.
Okay.
Because in my head, I was trying to, whatever I do, I want to be the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I'm not just a hip hop artist. I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I promise I'm not gonna be old man shaking my fist at the camera. I'm disappointed when I heard this. I'm just disappointed. One more time, though. One more time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I'm not just a hip hop artist. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
If I could auto-tune some stuff up, I feel like I could be the best singer in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's not singing.
like whatever I do, I want to be the best at it. And so I want to be the best artist in the world. The only way I can do that is if I can show that I can do something other than rap.
And go out to the world.
Exactly.
Like it's like touring Europe.
But here's my thoughts, man. It's like, why can't hip hop and rap be looked at as art? Like, how is that not a respected art form? Like what about it makes it not respected? You see what I'm saying? Like, is it not music? Is it not, you know what I mean? Like, is this not like a form of like spoken word or poetry? Is this not about lyrics? You know, are the producers not musicians? The producers behind the beats, all these beats we love, like, are they not valid? Why does a black music genre, you see what I'm saying? Like, why is that only for that? Like, how is country any, you know what I mean? But even country, but because like, you know, I see there's a new wave of a lot of black artists getting into country music and stuff. Like, it's the wave right now, honestly. Pop music, like country music, is basically pop music at this point. You know what I mean? Everybody getting on that wave. So it's also like country, from the studies I've been doing. My channel new. I'm using this channel as a way to like dive deeper into black music, into the history of black music and things like that. But from my studies, like country music pretty much was started by black. It has the same roots and foundation as genres like blues and gospel and things like that. They all come from the same South, like the Mississippi South, with black people were playing instruments and talking to blues, talking that type of the subject matter that they're talking about. You know, obviously, I think country, where it separates from blues, a lot of white people kind of like gravitated towards that and like pretty much took it over. But it started, the foundation of it was started by black people. So I get it, being able to say, hey, like, let's reclaim that. But it's like, what I don't like is like the devaluing of hip hop as being an artist. Like, that's art as well. You know what I mean? It takes talent, it takes skill. You know what I mean? I feel like all black music genres should have respect on them. I mean, if you want to be a country artist, like, why not just come in the game on the country tip? It's already popular, so why not do that? Why go the hip hop route? But let's continue. Let's get more. Let's see what you're gonna say.
There's a few things here going on, and this is one of them. Saying this, I think, in front of two white interviewers from New York Times, is showing an inability to read the room. These are not the folks you want to have this kind of conversation with. I would have much rather him do this kind of conversation with Sway or with, you know, a Breakfast Club, to get pressed a little bit more about, well, what do you mean by just a hip hop artist? Doing this in a room and mixed company like this about a culture that would see these two gentlemen as guests is already kind of on shaky ground, very much so. But saying I don't want to be just labeled as a hip-hop artist, I think implies there's a limitation with that title. I'll get into more details, but I want to show you some of the reactions, because this person retweeted something that was said in Vince Staples' story. Where
This is what I was talking about. Vince Staples said this: is this the end of Vince Staples the rapper and the new era of Vince Staples the artist? Like, he said, this is racist, just letting you know. Like,
a question on Instagram and said, is this the end of Vince Staples the rapper and a new era of Vince Staples the artist? He said, this is racist, just letting you know. I know he has a great balance of sarcasm and like really meaning the shit he say. But does that kind of give you an idea why some people look at that and say, why is it always hip hop is seen as not just a step towards the direction of something bigger, but the idea that it's not, you can't do whatever you're trying to do in these. What does the bigger look like? Do you just mean you want more white fans? If we keep it a whole stack, is that what we really mean? Like what is it that limits you as a hip hop artist? Another point of view that I thought was interesting. Shout out to Mimi the music blogger. She says the undertone, saying, I'm not just a hip hop artist, trying to say hip hop has a limitation. Rap is craft. Hip hop is culture. If you excel in it, you are already an artist. There is nothing lesser about it. When artists frame it this way, it usually reveals two things. They want mainstream validation and think distancing from hip hop helps. In a room with two white dudes. And they have internalized the industry's bias that rap is lower art. That is the part that feels off. If you want to experiment, say that. If you want range, show it. But you don't need to downplay the culture to build you. cook, Mimi. That was the same sentiments I had. Like, we get so critical, and rightfully so, of the Tommy Richmonds who make statements like this, of the Post Malone, the Miley Cyrus who talk about their adventurous, risk-taking journey in rap, and how, you know, it showed them a lot about what that was and the limitations that were there. But when I really wanted to spread my wings, I had to leave hip-hop. I had to leave rap. This is what I mean when I say some people have the ability to take hip-hop off and move on. Some people don't have that ability. No matter what they do, what they wear, how they talk, who they associate with, what city they're in, hip-hop follows them around because it's in them and not on them. It's not a uniform. It's unfortunate to hear a statement like that. Another reaction here is from Bush. Rap is the only art form where people feel like you have to do something else to be recognized as an artist. No other genre in the world is looked down upon like this, and the attack always comes from inside. It's so disrespectful. Yeah, what is that about? What? Oh, wait a minute. What is this here? Mind you, he admitted to not writing one of his biggest rap songs. But yet, he's over here talking about being the best artist. He's not even the best in the field.
Yeah, like he already talking about, okay, he don't write his raps. He's talking about if he want to be an artist, he's going to use auto-tune. Like, man, like that's where we at in music today. Like, it's real unfortunate. It's kind of sad, man. We starting to see AI artists taking over and stuff like that. Like, it makes you feel down about the state of music. And like a lot of my audience thus far, I've reacted to a lot of like classic soul, R&B, funk, disco, that type of music, 60s, 70s era music, some 80s as well. But I see a lot of people in my comment section like basically saying like music don't feel the same no more. It's not the same anymore. And to a certain extent, they're right. What I don't like as far as that is like when you criticize hip hop as well. They're like, oh, hip hop is not a real thing. Because even some of my audience who may be older or who may be like the music of the past, they may not understand hip hop either. You know what I mean? So they might criticize that and not really appreciate that as an art form, as lyricism, as all of these things. So I feel like I want to use my platform to like bridge that gap, like bring that together. Like, okay, all of these are Black forms of music and all of them are valid and they all are art. So it's like, you know, that criticism, I get it, because like I said, anything like that, that these major record labels get their hands on, they kind of like got this thing about it where they know how to devalue it. They just water it down and they try to do the bare minimum to make the most money. So it's like they'll take something that's genuine, that's pure, even R&B, even soul, and they'll take that and they'll water it down all the way until it's like, this ain't even R&B music no more. Now it's like the people are like, if you listen to modern R&B and stuff like that, like people barely sing. There's no runs. There's no vocal range. It's like everything is just monotone. Like da, 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 da. You know what I mean? And they'll put that out there, and it'll make money because that's the era we're in. Like these kids that's coming up, they don't know the difference between music. They just know, okay, this is the artist out now. This is the best artist. It might be the best artist right now, but it doesn't mean they're the standard of R&B or the standard of music artists. So yeah, man, it's a weird situation, but let's tap into it a little bit more.
For never will be. Oh no! Has he been drinking and driving? Hey yo, DIYer, if you're enjoying this content, please don't.
But yeah, and hold on. I also wanted to share this other video. Let me see. And it's the same guy, but I think it kind of speaks to his mindset a little bit more.
Yeah, think about it. You was this football player your whole life. Your mama and your daddy, they all feel like this is what you're supposed to be, and now you then turn to the streets because it's like, I can't. Now that I'm not doing football, nobody was there. Like nobody was there. After the football crash, everybody left.
Especially when you're identified with something for so long.
Not for sure.
And then when it goes away by however, it's like, damn. Even with you, you had to probably think like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I was lost. I was lost all the way until I started doing music. It was maybe 5 years ago I started doing music. I'm 27 years old.
So during middle school, high school, teens, you never wrote either?
Never.
No, not even poetry?
Never. I think maybe during the high school football games, we would always like turn ourselves up in the huddle.
Right.
And it was like two people that would freestyle, me and a guy named, three. Me, a guy named Calvin Fleming, and a guy named Joshua Thomas. And it was just on some like, Like I said, we from
In the
Texas.
huddle.
Yeah, so man, hold up. You know what I'm saying? We speaking on like just the football team, how we finna do the other football team, and that was that.
And that was your your rap career. Like that was it. Like,
At
oh,
the time, yeah. I never thought nothing else of it after that. Like even after it was no rap. You gotta think about it.
But
too.
you know, and shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, like you said, he started in football, and I guess he transitioned to the streets, and then he picked up the rap thing. And that's kind of like my biggest takeaway from this. It's like a lot of people today, they treat hip hop like a hustle. And I just don't like it because that ends up devaluing the art form itself. Like the reason why people got such a bad interpretation or perception of hip hop is because it ends up attracting people like this who don't really care about the art form, who don't look at it as a craft, who don't look at it as an art form. They just look at it as a hustle. This is something that, oh, I can look cool, I can get money, I can get girls, I can get this and that. You see what I'm saying? I can get fame and notoriety, and then I could just take that and just push it to the side and just do something else that I really want to do, or something that, you know what I mean, I didn't have that avenue. And you know, there's something to be said about that as well, as far as like a lot of like artists and black artists as well, you know, don't have avenues to get into the things that they really want to do. So they have to go through hip hop just to become a name, just to have name recognition, and then they pivot to whatever they wanted to do. But my thing is, it devalues the culture. It devalues the culture that a lot of us come up in, and a lot of us appreciate, and you know, that kind of define who we are. You know what I mean? Our identity and things like that. And like, I don't like how people can devalue that, like, and treat it like a hustle. It's pretty much like the streets. A lot of people get into the streets just as a hustle. I mean, it's like, okay, let me, you know, sell drugs, let me get into scamming, let me get into this and that, boosting, whatever, just as a hustle. I feel like a lot of the artists or so-called artists who devalue what hip-hop is and gave it that negative perception, they just treated it like any other hustle. You see what I'm saying? So that's my thing. That's the thing I push back on the most. But let's get into this next story.
The community is outraged after an attack on a mother and her 2 young children. You can see in this video here where it happened in the South Deering neighborhood. And we are blurring the video because the people involved are all minors. Our Sharday Gray is live outside of the school where this happened. Sharday, we're learning this is not the first time that this specific group of kids attacked someone.
Exactly, Marie. The large group of parents were outside of the school calling for accountability. They say bullying has been a problem at the school, but now it's crossed the line into violence. The mother, who is also the victim, has been at the school all day talking to authorities.
Damn! Damn!
Disturbing video, all caught on camera. Children dragging a mother and her son to the ground. We've blurred the faces of the people involved because they're minors. Police say the 33-year-old mother and her 9-year-old son were walking near 106 and Bensley in the South Deering neighborhood when the group of kids started chasing after the mother and her children, calling them names and taunting them. Both the mother and son were taken to a hospital. Word of the attack spread quickly on social media, causing outrage among many parents.
I couldn't sleep. I was traumatized. I could not sleep. I couldn't believe it.
Shanice Davis lives in the neighborhood and says she recognizes the attackers.
This is not the first time the kids have done this. You know, just talk around the streets that these kids have pretty much been raising themselves and they have not been held accountable.
Man,
They have been
she said a mouthful right there.
harassed adults and children.
Kids raising themselves, man. Like, we in an interesting time in, I guess, U.S. history or just modern history or whatever, modern times, man, because it's like, at some point, we got to figure this out, man. We got to figure out how, you know, to control our environments a little bit better. You know what I mean? Make our environments that we all have to live in. These are shared environments. It's not like isolated environments where it's like, you know, you can be over here doing your own thing. I can do what I want. I raise my kid how I want. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it's not like that. It's not like you know, you're just isolated. everything that people do in these communities is kind of like it's a shared community, it's a shared environment. So whatever your kid doing, it's impacting my kid, it's impacting me, it's impacting the environment, it's impacting like how tax revenue gets spent in your city. You know what I mean? It's like it really impacts everybody. So it's like when things like this happen, everybody needs to be tapped into stuff like that, just to rein in some of the problems that we have in our communities. So.
One day after the attack, demonstrators showed up at Orville Bright Elementary School after some posted on social media threatening to harm the children behind the attack. Several police officers showed up blocking the entrance of the school to protect kids inside. Chicago Police District Council member Joseph Williams was also talking with them.
We're going to make sure that this school leadership steps up and that they put a safety plan in place, that they put any plan they need to put in place to make sure that these babies feel secure. Bullying should have a zero tolerance behind it.
Absolutely.
We reached out to Chicago Public Schools about this incident and allegations from parents that their children were bullied by the same group of kids. CPS says they're horrified by the attack and they're working closely with the mayor's office, CPD,
You're gonna have to
and other city departments to provide additional support for the family. Reporting live in South Deering, Sade Gray, CBS News, Chicago. Marie.
Thank you.
Man, you're gonna have to like break them kids up. Like if they moving as a group, that's like the start of how gangs and stuff get started. You know what I mean? You start as kids just hanging out, going around bullying people and stuff like that. Then eventually that turns into, you see what I'm saying? People, they skipping school, they doing this and they doing that. So like you're gonna have to split them up and like really hone in on them and like, you know, get them the help they need, because these aren't just kids who you just look at as like these bad kids that need to be punished, this type of stuff. It's more so like they need help, man. They need therapy, they need resources, they need mentors, they need all of these things. But also you do have to face consequences as well though. It's like if you harm somebody, you got to face consequence for that harm you inflicted on somebody. So I see both sides of it, but it's like I don't think it should be one or the other. But there's another video that kind of explains more about what's going on from another content creator.
That doesn't have anything to do with the story for real, but as I thought she was pregnant, there was so many other people that thought she was pregnant. So I decided to make that correction since I mistakenly put that on my Instagram post as well. But yeah, I was today years old finding.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that the mother was pregnant in this situation, that would have been horrible as well. But like she, obviously sickle cell causes enlarged abdomen. So yeah, just her being able to be targeted like that with that type of sickness. But even if she didn't have a sickness, like obviously people were kind of bringing up the pregnancy or the sickle cell, the sickness, as a way to kind of like, man, you know, they did this to a pregnant woman or a sick woman or and things like that. But it's like, even if she wasn't, even if she was fully healthy, that's still wrong. You know what I mean?
Out that along with fibroids making women look pregnant, sickle cell makes them look pregnant as well, because there is something with the spleen that makes the abdomen kind of protrude. So when I first saw this, I genuinely in my head, I'm like, okay, well, she probably not hitting them because she's trying to protect her kids, but at the same time protect her unborn child. But she wasn't pregnant, so it seems her sickness also contributed to her weakness as well. So it just was a whole recipe for her not to be able to protect her kids, which is very, very sad.
They might discharge y'all, but me, I might have to stay due to me who's already sick already. Yeah, I'm not pregnant. And I was just very friendly. Like he not the type that likes to fight. He's not a fighter. This is why I didn't want to go live, because y'all want to get up here saying so, yeah, you mad because you got beat, because you and your son got beat up by the middle schooler. She is one of the children that was a part of the fight at OT Bright School on yesterday. We're just coming live so she can say her piece and take accountability.
Happy.
It's okay.
Happy for everything that I did. And I was just being a...
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about this Chicago mother that is going viral.
Shout out to this content creator, Neek at Night. I'm using her content, so I want to give that Acknowledgement.
Viral after she and her children were jumped. Now, according to the mom, she went to pick her son up from school, and these group of middle school kids were already plotting. She says as she arrived and she was walking her child around, they approached them and attacked.
Come on, blood. Shamar, look at Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at.
Let me pause the video real quick and give you guys a quick disclaimer. Because of the graphic nature of this video, the content, and the subject matter, this might be a video that YouTube does not monetize, but if not, just make sure to like the video, share the video so that the word can get out. But I'm gonna try to break down this story as best as possible. I'm gonna show parts of the video, the parts where they are attacking her. Obviously, I'm gonna blur it out, but if you wanna see it in full, I posted the video on my Instagram and I posted the video. You guys wanna, what is...
Look at them ankles, blood. Shamar, look at Junior. Junior. Why don't you touch my son? Hey, boy, don't touch my brother foot. Oh, no, those ankles asses. Look at them, this red crackhead. Other bitch, Mark. What's that?
All right, so now I'm gonna have to start blurring out parts because as you can see, the girl squares up with the mom and then she goes in to hit her.
And it's like, bro, this is sad, man. I don't even know I want to finish this off, but it's like this, man. Like, these are learned behaviors, man. Like, these kids, they got influences. They picked that up from somewhere. Like, they ain't just born and they just start doing stuff like this. This is somebody influenced them to do that. They seen this growing up. They live in an environment where this is probably normalized and stuff like that. So what I really take away from this, man, is like, it takes a community, it takes a village to raise a child. And if that child don't feel that warmth, you know, these are cliches and stuff like that, but you know, they very true. If the child doesn't feel that warmth, they end up burning the whole village down. That's why I'm glad like this got out, it got backlash or outrage. Like, it went viral with a lot of outrage. And surprisingly, it wasn't like racist, because a lot of racists, they do stuff like that. They'll find like black things to like cherry pick and they'll take that and then they'll just try to, oh, look how these black people are doing. But for this one, it was like black people made this viral. Black people showed up to their communities and showed up to the school. Parents outraged was looking for answers. That's big because it's like, it shows that the community is stepping in now. It's like, okay, we can correct ourselves. We can solve issues in our own communities. You see what I'm saying? We can ensure that our communities are safe for our kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, without anybody coming in and trying to, I know Trump was sending a lot of military and all of that. Like, you know, we don't need all that, man. We need our communities to do what we need to do. So I love the accountability that I've seen out of our community. So I feel like that's a positive takeaway we can take from this. But yeah, man, I'm about to be done with this, man. Like, current events, man, they kind of draining, but it's like, shoot, man, I got to get my thoughts out somehow. So why not do it here? But that's it for this video, man. Interesting videos, man. Like I said, I just feel like I had to get my thoughts out on both of these subjects, you know, whether it's black art, black music, black hip hop, R&B, all of that, man. Like, I'm developing a real appreciation for these things because like they are cultural cornerstones for us. So it's like, I really look into that. And then also like that outpouring of community support for that mother that was attacked. I feel like there was good takeaways from both of those instances. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. What are your thoughts on these subjects? You know, either the hip hop or you can comment on either one. Like, the hip hop is not art. You know, I know a lot of you guys like R&B, soul, and things like that. But like, I want to know your thoughts on that. And also this mother in Chicago that was attacked. Like, what are your thoughts on this and like how the community reacted? And what are any solutions that you might have to any of these type of conversations that we bringing up? This has been a Site Black YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know exactly when we upload. and share this video with anybody that you want to spark these conversations with. And without further ado, hope you guys having a great week, and peace.